Personnel management and industrial relations. Personnel management. Meaning of personnel management. Personnel management refers to the administrative discipline of hiring and developing employees so that they become more valuable to the organization. It involves planning, organizing, directing, and controlling human resources to optimize productivity and job satisfaction. In simple terms, it is concerned with managing people at work to achieve individual, organizational, and social goals. Objectives of personnel management. To ensure effective utilization of human resources. To establish and maintain a productive workforce. To create and maintain good employee relations. To attract and retain skilled and talented employees. To enhance employee satisfaction and morale. To develop employee skills through training and development. To ensure compliance with employment laws and regulations. To reduce employee turnover and absenteeism. To maintain organizational discipline and employee engagement. C. Functions of personnel management. Personnel management functions can be categorized into two major groups. 1. Managerial functions. These are general management tasks performed by the personnel manager. A. Planning. Involves forecasting human resource needs and planning to ensure the right number and kind of people are available at the right time. B. Organizing. Refers to establishing a structure of roles, responsibilities, and relationships to carry out personnel functions effectively. C. Controlling. Monitoring and evaluating HR activities to ensure they are aligned with organizational goals and policies. D. Directing. Guiding, motivating, and leading employees to perform their duties efficiently and effectively. 2. Operative functions. These are specific activities related to employee management. A. Procurement. Recruiting, selecting, and placing the right person in the right job. B. Development. Training and career development to improve skills and performance of employees. C. Compensation. Determining and providing fair wages, salaries, incentives, and benefits. D. Integration. Ensuring a harmonious relationship between employees and the organization to foster teamwork and reduce conflicts. E. Maintenance. Preserving and enhancing employees' physical and mental well-being through proper working conditions, health and safety measures, and welfare services. D. Different aspects of personnel management. Human resource planning, anticipating the future HR needs of the organization. Job analysis and design, understanding job roles and designing them effectively. Recruitment and selection, attracting and choosing qualified candidates. Training and development, enhancing employee capabilities. Performance appraisal, evaluating employee performance systematically. Labor relations, managing relationships with trade unions and resolving disputes. Employee welfare, providing amenities and services for employee satisfaction. Compliance with labor laws, ensuring adherence to legal standards. Industrial relations. Industrial relations, IR, refers to the relationship between employers, employees, and trade unions, and how they interact within the industrial environment. It encompasses all aspects of labor management relations, including negotiation, conflict resolution, and regulatory frameworks. Definitions of industrial relations. According to Dale Yoder, industrial relations deal with the relationship between management and employees or among employees and their organizations that characterize and grow out of employment. According to R.A. Lester, industrial relations involve attempts at arriving at solutions between conflicting objectives and values between the profit motive and social gain. According to ILO, International Labor Organization, industrial relations deal with relationships between either the state and employers and workers' organizations or between the occupational organizations themselves. According to Professor John T. Dunlop, industrial relations is a complex interrelation among workers, management, and government. He emphasized the industrial relations system model involving three agents: actors, employers, employees, government, contexts, and rules. According to Alan Flanders, industrial relations is the study of the institutions of job regulation. It focuses on rulemaking processes within employment. B. Objectives of industrial relations. According to Kirkcaldy, 1947. To safeguard the interests of labor and management. To avoid industrial conflicts and promote harmonious relations. To raise productivity through cooperation. To establish industrial democracy. To provide fair wages and improved living conditions. C. Scope of industrial relations. Development of healthy labor management relations. Promoting mutual understanding, trust, and respect between employers and workers. Maintenance of industrial peace. Ensuring minimal disputes, strikes, and unrest through dialogue, grievance redressal, and collective bargaining. Development of industrial democracy. Encouraging worker participation in decision-making and ensuring equitable representation in the workplace. D. Functions of industrial relations. Recognition, identifying and respecting the rights of workers, unions, and management. Open communication, facilitating transparent dialogue to resolve conflicts and avoid misunderstandings. Constant feedback, ensuring continuous improvement through feedback mechanisms across hierarchies. Investment, building strong employer-employee relations by investing in training, welfare, and engagement. Growing capabilities, enhancing workforce skills and adaptability to technological and organizational changes. E. Determinants of industrial relations. Communication, clear and timely communication reduces conflict and fosters trust. Unions, the strength, role, and approach of trade unions significantly influence industrial relations. Wages and benefits, fair compensation systems are central to maintaining worker satisfaction and reducing disputes. Companies' ideology, management philosophy, and HR policies shape the culture and approach to worker relations. F. Reflectors of industrial relations. Economic satisfaction of workers. Stable income, fair wages, and job security indicate sound industrial relations. Social and psychological satisfaction. A positive work environment and recognition enhance mental well-being and motivation. Enlightened trade unions. Educated, democratic, and responsible unions help maintain constructive relations. G. Significance of industrial relations. Establishing cordial relationships in industry promotes cooperation and reduces the chances of strikes or lockouts. Contributing to higher efficiency and productivity, a harmonious environment leads to improved performance and innovation. Building effective organizational culture encourages values like respect, fairness, and teamwork. Creating group dynamics and synergy, collective effort and unity improve morale and problem-solving. Discouraging unfair practices of management, checks exploitation and encourages ethical treatment of workers. Promoting labor welfare and safety measures, focuses on improving working conditions and employee well-being. Being instrumental to change, facilitates smooth implementation of technological or structural changes in industry. H. Models and theoretical framework in industrial relations. 1. Unitary theory. Core idea, the unitary perspective views the organization as a single unified entity with a common purpose. It assumes that employers and employees share the same goals, values, and interests. Assumptions, there is no fundamental conflict of interest between management and workers, loyalty to the organization is paramount, employees are expected to be loyal and committed, conflict is seen as abnormal, a result of poor communication, individual misconduct, or external agitators, e.g., trade unionists. View on trade unions. Trade unions are often viewed as unnecessary and potentially disruptive, since the management is assumed to act in the best interest of employees. Use in practice, common in authoritarian or paternalistic management styles, often found in traditional or family-run businesses. 2. Pluralist perspective. Core idea, the pluralist model recognizes that the workplace is made up of diverse groups, e.g., management, workers, unions, each with its own legitimate interests and objectives. Assumptions, conflict is inevitable and natural due to differences in goals, e.g., profit versus wages, power is distributed among multiple stakeholders. Effective industrial relations depend on negotiation, consultation, and collective bargaining. View on trade unions. Trade unions are considered essential institutions to represent worker interests and balance power between employers and employees. Use in practice, seen in democratic and legally pluralistic societies, where industrial democracy and workers' representation are encouraged. 3. A Marxist/radical perspective. Core idea. This theory is rooted in Marxist ideology, which interprets industrial relations in terms of class struggle between capital, employers, and labor, workers. Assumptions. The capitalist system inherently creates inequality and exploitation of labor by capital owners. Industrial conflict is not just due to miscommunication but is structural and systemic. The state, laws, and institutions serve the interests of capital and reinforce the dominance of the ruling class. View on trade unions. Trade unions are seen as vehicles of class resistance, but sometimes limited due to being part of the capitalist system. Radical thinkers push for revolutionary change and worker control over production. Use in practice. Influential in leftist labor movements, especially in countries or periods where labor exploitation was highly visible, e.g., during the Industrial Revolution or in socialist-oriented states.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video.